View the following program in its entirety with Xfinity On Demand by selecting Get Local and choosing All HS Sports. For Xfinity X1 customers, scroll over to Xfinity Services and select Get Local.
You're watching the Comcast Network. CN100, Chicago.
Loyola is always a huge matchup for us. It doesn't matter from one year to the next. We might be slightly stronger on paper, or they might be slightly stronger, and it's always a huge game.
There's a neighborhood rivalry. There's a rivalry in just about every sport at Loyola versus New Trier, which just makes it fun.
When we play Loyola, we know that they are going to be tough at the net. They tend to be a big hitting, blocking team. They also tend to be very aggressive. We're working on reducing errors in parts of the game that are totally under our control, okay? So kind of the serve pass part of the game, reducing our errors. And then secondly, when the play is coming together perfectly, that we are at our highest level of aggressive attacks. You know, we take the biggest amount of risk.
Matching up against New Trier, you know, the best we're going to try and do is get them out of system. We're going to serve tough, hopefully get them out of their system, and cause as much chaos as possible on their side of the net, and we're going to play controlled and disciplined on our side.
It tends to be an emotional game. I think the team that settles in the fastest to the game and relaxes and plays their game wins.
And we welcome everybody to Wilmette for the CN100 Game of the Week from the beautiful campus of Loyola Academy. Today it's a boys volleyball matchup, an arch rivalry, as New Trier takes on Loyola. Welcome everybody, I'm Jim Blaney along with Mark Kruger. Let's face it, anytime these two schools meet in anything, it's important. It has a little extra meaning, but especially because these are two of the best teams in the North Shore. And for New Trier, Mark, yeah, big rivalry game, we get all that, but this, for the Trevians, is what they hope is another stepping stone on their way to yet another trip downstate.
Coach Hawk has done an amazing job with this program now in her 17th season as the head coach, Jim. And get this number, if they win 30 or more matches this year, it would be their 7th straight season of 30 or more wins. Amazing. They've been downstate for the last 4 consecutive years, looking for their 5th this year.
And remember, downstate is a figurative term because the state tournament's at Hoffman Estates High School. But let's talk about Loyola for a second. And again, for them, big rivalry game, it's important. Yeah, we get all that. But Loyola is trying to establish that, look, we can beat New Trier. We can get past these guys, and maybe we can make a run to the state tournament.
And Jim, they've got 8 players coming back from last year's team that won 21 matches. They've got a great leadership as far as the seniors go. And Jim, last year at New Trier, they lost in 2 sets to New Trier, so they're looking for a little payback here on their home court.
Yep, so far, no Jack Howard. He remains on the bench, number 19 for the Ramblers.
Matt Wertel serving now for Loyola at the net. And put away nicely by James Snyder.
Yeah, James Snyder, and talked already about Joe DeTomo. That's a great 1-2 punch with those 2 middle hitters. This time it's Snyder getting the kill.
Went a little bit shorter with that one. Johnson almost buried it, and it was a good job by Gilman at getting to it, but he couldn't control it. And Loyola has their first point of set 2.
Great job by Gilman. I mean, this thing's coming at him in a hurry, and he did his best to at least get a hand on it and went into the 8th row of the bleachers.
A little shorter that time. DeTomo finds a spot where they're not.
Yeah, it seems like whenever Loyola's starting to creep up, it's Joe DeTomo who comes up with a huge point. Take another look at it here. Joe at the net, sending it home over a couple outstretched arms of Loyola.
Their biggest lead of the first set was 8, and that was how it ended. Good chance for New Trier to set things up, but they get a little disorganized. Could New Trier get some offense set up? Craig Johnson. Outside, Peter Brown. Wartell with a nice job of defending that one. At the net. Second time they don't miss.
Yeah, Peter Brown from the outside. It was beautifully set up here. The timeout taken by Loyola. Take another look at it here. getting Brown on the outside. Boy, that was a beautiful set by Wiegand.
Wiegand has served 3 points in a row, and the New Trier lead is now 8. 2 consecutive points for John Hitt. 3.
Wow. They're battling.
Third ace of the match for John Hitt.
Another look at it here. The knuckleball staying in. Good call by the official.
To view this exclusive Xfinity TV programming in its entirety, check the CN100 schedule for a list of airtimes, or view this program anytime on demand by selecting Get Local and choosing CN100. For Xfinity X1 customers, scroll over to Xfinity Services and select Get Local.